So user SK211 asked me around 2 weeks ago that how to get list of objects. And at that time I was not able to answer him. Because currently whatever I have shown you in my Hibernate series, like although I have shown you so many concepts, how to generate a primary key, how to do association mapping, how to do inheritance mapping, but there is no way of getting the list of objects. What the max you can do is you can provide the owner ID, it will show you the details of particular owner. You can provide the pet ID, it can show you the details of particular pet. Or if you will give multiple owner IDs or multiple pet IDs, it will show you the list in that way. Yeah. But there was no way of getting the complete list of owners or the complete list of pets. So I thought this is the right time for doing that. Because now from today onwards, we are going to start with Hibernate Query Language. So welcome everyone to this another video of Scale Up India. I'm Abhishek Verma and you are watching the Hibernate series. And as I mentioned you that from today onwards, we are going to discuss about Hibernate Query Language. Now for this also, we'll try to cover each and every concept in detail. So let's get started. Now before starting with the HQL, let me quickly revise the concepts which we have covered till now and some of the defaults we will be using from this video onwards. So as you know that in our last video, we were able to make so many classes. We created a base class where we are having only the ID, which is your primary key. Then we were having the owner class, having a one-to-one mapping with the pet class. And then there are two child classes, domestic pet and the wild pet. And in our all upcoming scenarios, we are going to take this particular structure only. Now, let's see that what are the various defaults we will be using in today's video as well as upcoming video. So the first one is primary key generation. So as you know, my favorite one is identity. So in all our videos, we will be using this strategy only. If you wish to change as per your requirement, feel free to change it easily. The next one is association mapping. And for this, I will be using here one-to-one mapping, and that is going to be bidirectional mapping. Then for the cascading, as you know that I wish to do everything with the help of this owner only. So I wish to go with cascade type.all. Then with the fetching, we will be going with fetch type.lazy. Because you know that one-to-one mapping by default supports eager fetching, but we will be going with the lazy fetching here because that is more better to use. Yeah, and with the help of this I will be able to tell you one more problem also, like how to solve that particular problem also I will be telling you, not only the problem. And the next one is inheritance mapping. So for this we will be using inheritance type joined, that is among our pet, domestic pet and wild pet, and we will be also using mapped superclass for this particular base entity. Yeah, or basically it is not an entity, it is just a class for us. So these are some of the defaults we will be using from now onwards. And in case if you have missed any one of these videos, then I will share the link of the playlist on the top because I can't separately share the link of each and every video. So I'll just share the link of playlist on top, and from there you can watch whatever the video you wish to see particularly. Yeah. So now let's see the next part. So now here first of all what we will do is we'll try to compare HQL with SQL. So SQL is something I guess every one of you know, that is structured query language, and many times in our case also whenever we wish to insert the data in the database directly, or whenever I just want to show you some of the like how my data looks in the table, I used to say select star from owner table or pet table, something like this. So that was my structured query language. But what is this Hibernate query language? So this is something which we are going to learn today. Now first of all, let's see what is the purpose of these two. So SQL, as you know, this is a general purpose query language. Like you can use with any kind of database, whether it is MySQL database, PostgreSQL database, DB2, H2 or any kind of database. You can make usage of it and it is very simple to use. I hope many of you have expertise in this. Yeah. But something new for you today is our HQL, that is object oriented query language. Now why this is object oriented query language? Because this is something which you are not going to use directly with the database. You can use HQL only when you are using Hibernate, and if you are using Hibernate then it means it is something object oriented programming. So hence we call it as object oriented query language. So this is the basic difference between these two. Now you will say that, okay, try to explain it in more simpler words. Okay, so let me directly jump on to its syntax. Now in SQL, whenever you want to, let's say, operate on any kind of table, okay, now here when I use the term operation, so I may want to say that I wish to save some data in the database, or read the data, or update or delete the data. So generally you make usage of database table and the column name. I won't give you any example here because as you can see, I'm specifically having two examples here. So as of now, I'll just say that here you make usage of table name and the column name, which you are having in your tables. But in the HQL, instead of table name, you will be making usage of your Java entity name, that is the owner class. And instead of your column names, you will be using the Java variables here. So that is the major difference between these two. Now the next one is association. So here you know that whenever we wish to do anything like one-to-one mapping, one-to-many mapping, or many-to-many mapping, we make usage of joins in SQL. So same way here also we will be making usage of joins only. Same join keyword will be used. Now for inheritance. Now here in SQL, whenever you wish to go with the inheritance, like there was a pet table, domestic pet, wild pet. So again you need to go with the joins. Yeah, because then again you need to map it with the help of the foreign key, the ID or something like this. But in HQL, you don't need to worry about that, because as I mentioned you, HQL is your object oriented query language, and inheritance is one of the part of your object oriented query language. So here you will be getting inheritance as well as polymorphism directly in your HQL. You don't need to go with any kind of HQL. That is the best part of it. Now the performance. So here I will say that obviously your SQL is going to be faster. Why? Because it is directly going to operate upon your database. So it's going to be faster. But on the other hand, an HQL is going to be slower. Now why HQL is going to be slower? Because whenever you are writing an HQL and you execute your code, so Java first of all converts your HQL to SQL, and then that particular SQL will be executed on your database. Now you may start worrying that, okay, then why we are reading this if it is that much slower? But believe me, you don't need to worry, because till now you were using the methods like persist or get or merge or delete or remove, something like that, and all those methods also were being converted to the SQL only, and then those SQL used to be operated on your database. If you remember, whenever I run the code in the console, I show you what SQL query is getting executed. Same way is going to happen here also. The only difference is that now instead of any by default method, you will be making usage of HQL here. Yeah. Now HQL can be made use with the help of your, like, you can again insert any data, update data or delete data also. But mostly we will be using it with the select query, because there itself we wish to go for different kinds of combinations. For inserting, updating or deleting, the options are very simple. So in my demo, I won't be showing you HQL for them, but by default you can use for those purposes also. I will be showing you only with the select part, and I hope that you are that much intelligent that if I will show you it for the reading part, you will be able to convert it for the insert, update and delete part also. Now let's see the example here. So for the first example, I'll say that let's say I wish to read all the columns and all the rows from my owner table. So I will simply say select star from owner table. It will show me all my 72 rows as well as all my columns also. But in the HQL, I have two ways of writing this. First of all, the point is I just need to say from, and then instead of owner table. So see, this is the table name. But here I need to give the name of my Java class, that is owner. So I will be just saying from owner, and O is your object. So from owner, that's it. And it is going to do the job. By default, it will assume that you wish to read all the rows and all the columns. But some of you who are like me, who say, no, this one looks better because it is showing you select star. So it is more informative. So same way here also you can write select O. So this is the difference. In SQL, you can use the term star, but in HQL you need to go by this object only O. That is the reference object here we are saying. Yeah. So we will be saying select O from owner O, where owner is your class name, not the table name. So this is the basic difference. All other default keywords are going to remain same. Select is going to remain select, from is going to remain from. Now you will say that, okay, what if I just want to read only one or two column, or maybe on some conditions, then what? So in normal SQL you write like this: select first underscore name, that is your column name, from table name. Or some of the times you can also say like select O dot first name from owner underscore table O, where again O is your reference only. So here you make usage of table name and column name. But in HQL you will be saying select O dot first name. So again see the difference here. This first name, let me take help of this pen here today. So here this first name is your column name, and here, okay, sorry, not the column name, but it is your variable name, and here the first name is your column name. So this is first underscore name, and this is just simply your first name. As you can see, in Java we used to write like this, first name. So camel case approach we are using, and this owner is your class name. On the other hand, in the SQL, this owner underscore table is your table name. So that was the only difference between the syntax. So I hope that now if you know SQL, HQL is also going to be easy for you. The only thing which you need to do is that instead of these particular tables, you need to replace it with your Java classes, and instead of your column names, you need to replace it with your variable names. Simple. Now let's see in the terms of code that how we can achieve the same and what are the advantages, like why we are doing all these things basically, first of all. Yeah, so we will see with the help of code here. So now we are in our IDE, and as you can see we are in demo 17, and as always I have copied from the previous demo only, and I have taken all those defaults which I mentioned you in my deck. So you can later on check my entity, so you will find each and every stuff there. And just I wish to mention that in owner I'm using as lazy loading, and in the pet I'm having it as bidirectional mapping. So all these things are here. Yeah. Now here first of all let's go to this util, and before this, what I wish to do is that since now we have covered most of the things, and see we started so many months ago, now we have reached here, so it's a time to update our pom.xml. Let's first of all go to ambient repository and see if we have any later versions for this Hibernate or MySQL or not. In case if we find there is a new version, we'll just simply update it. Yeah, obviously it is not going to make any big change in the previous demos, so there also I'll update all the versions directly and upload them on the GitHub. So let's go there. And currently I'm making usage of this Hibernate code. So let me copy this Hibernate code from here and let me go in this ambient repository. So I'll search for this Hibernate code, and on searching this I will be getting something like this. And this is something which I found new, because earlier if you remember we used to get confused whether we should go to this org.hibernate or this. First of all we thought that okay, this has more usages, so let's go in this, and later on we find that okay, this is the new thing, but now they are directly mentioning that which is the new one. So let's go here. So as you can see, the latest version is 6.4.4 final, and till now we were using 6.3.1 final, so there is a big gap. Let's go with the latest version, and I'll just copy the version here. Yeah, not the whole thing, that is 6.4.4 final. So I'll go there and I'll just come back here and I'll update it here. So that's the advantage, that if you are not mentioning the version here directly, and if you are mentioning on the top, so you can simply change the version here. So this is something which you will be getting here. Now let's see for this MySQL connector G also. So I'll copy, I'll go here and let me search for this one also, MySQL connector J. So I'm here because this is the one, and for this also we should be going with 8.3.0. So yeah, this is fine, let's go for it. It came in January 16 only. So here we are, and let me just simply update this. So yeah, that's it, and let me just do one thing. So many times what happens is even after doing this update it doesn't works. So you just make a right click Maven and say update project and just select as force update. So now this is going to update your project, and now you are going to have all your these latest dependencies of 6.4.4 and MySQL 8.3.0. So from now onwards we will be going with the latest version. So one thing is clear with this. Yeah. Now let's come back to our stuff and we'll go to this util part. So I'll go to this input util. Now today we have only 4 options to perform. The first performance is going to be fetch owner details. So let's see what do we have here. So we'll go in this one, and here we say find owner, something like this. So we will be just saying find owner. So what I'll do is I'll quickly go to this service IMPL here. So here it says find owner. Okay, no need to worry, I'll go there. And for this find owner, you know that okay, things work something like this. We can simply say session.get owner.class owner id. So nothing much to worry, everyone knows this particular part. Okay, so as of now let's leave it here only. Let's go with the next one. So the next one is fetch pet details. Okay, let's see what it looks like. So for this we'll again go here and it will say find pet. So let's go in this one, it says find pet. Let's go here. So this one is also simple. We can give a pet ID, we can use the get method, and we can get the output. Simple. So let's skip this part also. Now you will say, Abhishek, then why have you added? So like there needs to be some drama. Okay, so I'm just doing that only as of now. So now let's go for the third part, that is fetch all owners. So first of all we will be implementing this. Later on again we'll come back to press 1 and press 2. Okay, so let's go here and see. So now it says find all owners. So till now I haven't implemented anything like this. So what will happen, I will ask it to find all the owners. It will give me the list, and here first of all I'll tell that okay, what is the size of list, and I'll say there are these many owners. As you know that in our database we have 72 owners, so it will print 72, and then it will print all the owners also here. Yeah, so let's go within this, and here we are in this. So what I'm simply doing, so this is simple, I'm making usage of stream. So let's say this method is going to provide me list of owner. I'll show you in some time how we will be doing this, but once we convert it to stream, and we map it with the owner. Okay, and since it is lazy loading, so we will be getting without pet. So I'm just doing that particular conversion here. If you are not aware about the streams of lambda, then I request you to watch my video. Believe me that these videos are going to be very interesting. So if you watch lambda and stream at least for once, you will never forget. That is my guarantee. After watching those videos also, if you will feel that okay, these videos are useless, then you can just tell me in the comments. Yeah, but at least give them a single watch. So now let's go to this find all owners. Yeah, so as you see that currently I am simply returning an empty list here. Okay, so this is something that we need to change as of now. So let's start changing this. Yeah, and before we change this one, what I wish to do is that as I'm saying you that we will be using HQL here. Yeah, Hibernate Query Language. Let's see that in database, if I want to do something like this, what query I will be writing. Obviously you are the expert, so you know that thing, but still let me just write it for the sake of those who don't know that particular thing. So let me increase the size. I hope this is fine. So we'll say here select star, and we'll say from, and then we just need to say owner underscore table. So this is the kind of query which I will be writing if I'm directly performing an SQL query, and on executing this I will be getting all these owners. So all the 72 owners I will be getting. Since I'm not using any kind of join, so I'm getting only the owner data and not any other details here. Okay, fine. Now what I'll do is I'll copy this. So as you know I'm lazy here, so I'll just copy this. I'll come back here, and here let me write my HQL. So I'll say HQL, and I'll write in these double inverted commas. So it is going to be your string here. So this one. So we'll say no Abhishek, this is still SQL only. Yeah, this is SQL. So let's start converting it. So instead of table name, I'll go with the class name. that is owner. So from here you can verify easily owner. Okay, then I need to give the reference for this owner, that is O. Now here, if you wish, you can say select O, or if you wish, you can just simply say this much. This will also work fine. But just for making it more informative, let's keep it as it is. Select O from owner O. Now this is your HQL. Simple. Nothing much to be done here. Now you will say that, okay, you wrote HQL, but how to use this? Okay, that's the main concept here. So let's see. We have already started session as always. This is something which you need to do always. So we'll say here session, and here we will say here today create, and now this is a selection query. So we'll say here selection query. Now some of you will say that there is a method like create query. So that is also a method, but this method is like a more better version of create query. Yeah. So hence we are going to use this method, create selection query. Now again, there are various options, and we'll go with this third option. That is, we will be providing the HQL string as well as the return type. So let me choose this one. So here it is going to be HQL, which I need to provide, and the return type. So the return type is obviously a list, but it is a list of owner here. So I'll say here owner, and I'll say owner.class. So obviously this is a list, but owner.class. Yeah. Now from this, what it gives me is, it gives me something like a selection query object. So that is the kind of object I will be getting. I don't want that. I want a list. So what I'll do is, I'll say here dot, and I'll try to see what I can get from this. So let me see what we can get. Do you find there is anything like list here? So you see we have get max results. So you can simply get the total number of rows, and there is something like result list. So I'll choose this one. So it will directly provide me the list of owner here. Why? Because here I have mentioned owner. So you can see this is my output list of owner, and now I can simply return this. Yeah, and that's it. Simple. See, things were so simple with the HQL, and we were just skipping it from our first demo onwards, because at that time we were not even aware about the Hibernate. Now we know so many things on the Hibernate that we can learn these HQL kind of things also. So you see, HQL is so simple here. Yeah. So this we have seen. Same way, let's see for the other one also. So fourth option was fetch all pets. So let's do for this one also. So we'll go here. It will say find all pets, and there also it will say find all pets. We will come back here, and again the same thing. So let's write the same thing here. So I'll say string HQL, something like this, and within this what I'm going to say is, I'll say here select something here, then I'll say P, because now for pet I wish to go with this word P, and this time the class name is pet. Yeah, and I'll just simply say pet P. Now you will say that, okay, will it read only the pet, or domestic pet, or the wild pet? So the answer is, it will read pet, domestic pet, as well as the wild pet also, and that is the magic. See, I mentioned you don't need any kind of join here. You just need to write the things as simple as this. Yeah. Otherwise, let's see the same thing if we write here, then how the things are going to look like first. So let me just say here select, and I'll say here star, and then I will say here from, and I will say pet underscore table. So here if I execute this much of query, so it will just show me only 4 columns. It won't show me the date of birth or the place of birth. For that, obviously I need to make some joins, and that is going to be here like this. So I'll say here left join, and then I will say, okay, I need to, so here I will say, let me first take it with the domestic underscore pet underscore table here. So now I wish to join them on the basis of their IDs. Yeah. So one ID is available here, and similarly one ID is available in this one also. Yeah. But I wish to point both of them. Otherwise, it will look something like this: ID equals to ID. So it will get confused. Which ID is equal to which ID? So here I will say PT, and here I will call it as DPT. Yeah. And here I will call it as PT.ID, equals to dpt.id, something like this. So this kind of reference you can use here, and I forget the on keyword. So now you see on the basis of these IDs it is using, and here also we are using reference. Same it is in your HQL also. So let's execute it now. So you see now it is showing ID twice, one because of your pet table, other one is because of your domestic pet table. Yeah, but as of now it's fine. Instead of star, if we remove and we mentioned it separately, so it can show you all of those. Yeah, but what it does is that it shows the data only for these 36 rows, because 36 are domestic pet, all other are wild pets. So for your wild pets also, let's try to do something similar here. So I'll just write it like this, and instead of domestic I'll say here wild, and here I will say WPT, and here also I'll say WPT. Again I'll execute the query. Yeah, okay, this was big. So for the first 36 we have date of birth, but we don't have place of birth. Then for the next 36 we don't have date of birth, but we have place of birth, and data looks something like this. This is fine, we know it works. Yeah, but see, this much of big query you need to write if you want to see all the data. But in HQL things are so simple. You can just say select P from pet P. It will show data from pet also, wild pet also, as well as domestic pet, parent as well as the child classes. And the next part, if you wish, I can write, or as you know me, I wish to copy paste. So let me just copy this particular thing and let me just write it here. So this is how it looks like, and I don't want to return owner list here. Instead I want to return a pet list. So yeah, this one looks fine to me. So this is also good. Now we have owner list also, pet list also, and yeah, things are done. But there still exists a but. Now you will say that okay, here we were finding a single pet or a single owner we were finding here. Now is it possible that by using HQL can we find a single owner? So what do you think? Is it possible or not? Let's try to do the same thing here first of all. So here this query gives me all the owners and all the columns, something like this. Now what I want is I just want a single owner. So what I can do is I can give it a where condition, something like this, where, and I can say it as ID equals to, let's say something like 10, whatever the number you wish. Okay, just a random number. So I can say this, and it will show you a single user only. The first name is Eva, and she is from Bhilai and Chhattisgarh. So if we have any subscriber from Chhattisgarh or Bhilai, then please do tell me in the comment section. Okay, and if you are from any other state, then also please tell me. Next time I'll see that okay, I'll choose your ID of your state. Okay, so let's see. So we are getting something like this. Okay, so all the states are available by the way here. Yeah, so that's not a case. So it's that simple. We just need to say where ID equals to 10. Now let's try to do the same thing in our Eclipse also. So what I'll do is I'll again just copy this from here. I'll paste it here, something like this. So this is the condition, and I'll say where. So something like this, I will say where, and then I will say o dot, and this time I need to give it the variable name. Now see the magic. ID is not a variable in the owner class. It is coming from base. Still I will be able to refer it. Yeah, and since it is a simple name, so I can just say ID only. In the next video we'll discuss HQL even in much more different ways of HQL. So now it looks something like this. Now I need to give the ID somewhere. So what I can do is I can write it like this, owner ID. Yeah, so now my owner ID looks like this, and here what I can do is, let me just copy this much part from here. So now instead of saying session.get, what I will be again choosing is a create selection query. So I will be choosing this create selection query, and I will be writing it here, and this time it is going to provide me a single result. Okay, so there are two options. You can say get single result. Now what it will do is that if you will just say get single result, then if data exists, which means if your ID is correct, it will give you the answer. If data doesn't exist, then it is not going to give you the answer. Okay, so in that case it will throw the exception. So now it is your choice. Do you want exception or a null? So you say that okay, I want an exception, so you simply say get single result. If you say no, I want a null value, if data doesn't exist, I wish to check the null values in my, let's say, service class, so you will say get single result or null. And as you know, we have already taken care of null in our service layer, so I will write it like this, get single result or null. So this is how my output is going to look like, or my code is going to look like here. But there is one problem here, guys. Yeah, now the problem is, although the query is fine, but writing a query something like this is not a good practice. Instead of this, you know that by writing this kind of queries, it can lead to a SQL injection attack. So what if some person gives some wrong values here? Okay, so this can lead to a SQL injection attack here. So instead of doing this, what we will do is we will go with the positional parameters here. Okay, so let's not write it here, and let's go with some positional parameters. So either you can use it like this, yeah, so this is also one option, or you can do it like this. So here we will say owner ID. So this is just, you can say, a kind of a variable. So you are saying that okay, currently when I'm writing this query, so as of now I don't know the exact owner ID, but this is a placeholder for that. Yeah, and this column, so after this column we have a placeholder. Now afterwards I will be providing the value of this placeholder. So let's see how we can give the value to this placeholder. So here I will just say like this. So okay, let me also bring this also to the next line. So I'll say here set, and I will say here parameter. So again, two options are there. You can give the position. So if you are using question mark, you can say 1, or you can just choose the parameter name. So I'll say this one. So in the first place, it is the same parameter name, that is this. So I need to use these double inverted commas like this. And the second one is the value here. So second one is your value. First one is your parameter name here. So you can read this also. So it is parameter and the value here, the name and the value. So this is how the things are going to look like. If you feel this is something odd, so believe me, this is not something odd. If you are watching my series from day 1, then you know that in our demo 0 we did something like this. So let me just quickly take you there to my repository IMPL, when we used to do it with the help of jdbc only. So at that time we used to say something like this question mark. So instead of the question mark you are saying owner ID colon, and instead of saying this 1, you are saying owner ID in double inverted commas, and here you are passing the value. So you're doing the same thing only. The best part is that now you don't need to worry whether it's a integer or a string or whatever it is. Things are going to remain same. So even if it is a string, you need to write it like this only, no single inverted commas or anything else there. Yeah, let me just quickly format this. So now it is going to look like this. Same way let's do for this pet repository also. So let me just copy this and let me paste it here. Now if you wish, you can fast forward the video a bit, because this part is going to be a little repetitive for you here. So I'm just going to provide my pet ID here, then let me copy this pet ID, and what I'll do is, okay, I need to give this whole thing here. So let me just quickly provide the whole thing here. It is not going to provide me the, okay, I came back to the wrong place. So it is not going to provide me list this time. Instead it is going to provide me single result or null. So this is how it looks like, and here I will say here set parameter. So I'll just say this set parameter for this one. So this is parameter, and here is my spelling right or wrong? Okay, my spelling is right. So okay, it's parameter, not parameter. Okay, so I gave the wrong spelling here. So let me copy this pet ID and let me again. So first of all, this is your placeholder, and now this is your value. And it is not mandatory that every time you go with the same values here. Okay, so just for making it more informative, I'm writing it like this. Otherwise, if you wish, you can just simply say it like this ID. or you can say ID1. So whatever you are writing here, same value will be written here. Like you can write it like this also. But I feel the previous one was more informative when we write it like this. Yeah. So this one looks even much more better here for us. So yeah, this was it. We are ready with all our HQLs, and now let's execute the code one by one. So let me close this. Let me go here and execute. So our database is already ready. Nothing needs to be cleared or anything. So same queries and everything. Yeah. So let me first fetch the owner details. So I'll say 1 and I'll say 10. So you can see it is showing me this data, and it is showing me only the owner data. Okay. So why it is showing me only the owner data? Because it is lazy loading here. So nowhere we said that to fetch the pets also. So hence it is fetching only the owners. So I hope everything is fine here. Yeah, you agree with me? This is working perfectly. Now let's say why. And this time let's say fetch all owners 3. First of all, let's complete the owner part. So this time it is showing you ID still 72, and see all the owners are coming. Only the owners are coming, not the pets. And only one query got executed. So a single query got executed, and it is saying there are 72 owners. And this statement, as I mentioned you, we wrote somewhere here. So here I mentioned you the size of list. So this way you can mention, you don't need to get the size separately. Yeah. So we are getting the size of owners. So this is also working fine for us. Now let's move on with the next part. So now let's fetch the pet details here. So 2 and ID let's say 10. For the pet, what do you think? Eager fetching or lazy fetching? What will happen? So let me quickly show you my pet class. So my pet class is something like this. Tell me in the comments what is going to be there now. Eager loading or lazy loading? Is it going to load the owner details or not here? Okay. If you have watched my bidirectional one-to-one mapping video completely, believe me, you can tell me the right answer now. Okay. Otherwise you may end up in a wrong answer. So let's see. So when I execute this, then in this case it shows me the pet details, something here, as well as it shows me the owner details, because this time the lazy loading was only from the owner side. Here it is by default eager loading, and since it is bidirectional, so on the bidirectional side, as I mentioned you in the previous video also, you can't make it lazy. So even if you will write here lazy manually, then also it will behave as eager way only. So this is the thing. Yeah. But the problem is that for this, it didn't execute single query. It actually executed 2 queries. So although you wrote a single query, but it executed 2. First query to fetch the pet, and second query to fetch the owner associated with the pet. So 2 queries got executed just because of this particular line. I mean, where it went, it is something in our here. Okay. So see this simple line. So you were just saying from pet P. It was fetching from pet also. Then it need to decide whether it's a domestic or a wild pet. So accordingly it can fetch from those classes also. And it is fetching your owner details also. But that is happening with a separate query. You will say, okay, no worries, only one extra query. Let's see. So again, let's say why. Let's fetch all the pets. What do you say? How many queries will be executed? One query or how many queries? Just quickly tell me in the comment section before I click on the enter button. So okay, this is the time to click. So here it goes. So we can see all the pets are here, 72 pets. It is showing the owner details also, as you can see here completely. Yeah. Wild pet DTO, domestic pet DTO, it was able to identify easily, and 72 pets are there, but so many queries. You see, so many queries got executed here, and basically 73 queries got executed here. Now you will say, why 73 queries got executed? Because first query got executed because of this one, select P from pet P. So the role of first query was only to fetch all the pets, and it did its job. Then it was also doing the eager loading of all the owners. So for each and every owner, one query got executed, and hence you can see 72 more queries got executed along with your one query. And believe me or not, this is one of the biggest mistake which people even do in their real world projects. Yeah. So we call this problem as n+1 problem. So if you have heard about this term, then you can tell me in the comment section. You can also tell me what is the solution of it. If you haven't heard, then believe me, this is something new for you. So this is what we call as n+1 problem. Why n+1? Because you executed only one query, but beside this, extra n queries got executed, and that n depends on number of your pets. So those many queries got executed here. Okay. So this is a very serious problem, and in most of the interviews also they asked you that okay, how you can solve n+1 problem, what is the n+1 problem. So today you have seen what is the n+1 problem, that you are executing one query but it is running n extra queries because of eager loading here. Believe me, even if it is lazy loading, it can do this particular thing. Okay, because in lazy loading also what you are doing, first you are fetching a single pet and then you are fetching all other owner details also. So there also you will get n+1 problem. But what is the solution of it? So for the solution, I don't think so this is the right video, because already first of all we started with the scenario, then we discussed SQL versus HQL, then you learnt this HQL. So I guess there is too many things for this video. So let me cover this concept of n+1 problem in the next video. Till then, you can revise your HQL concept and you can tell me if you have heard about this problem or not. If yes, what solution did you went for? Or you can even check your production code and you can see whether you are actually facing this n+1 problem or not. Yeah. And you know that if you like the video, so you need to subscribe to the channel and you need to share it with your friends also. Like, we need to grow our community, guys. Okay. So I guess that is something we deserve. We should have a bigger community. So I hope you will help me. And till then, let me code with the next part. So we will see you in the next video. Thanks everyone.